Hello and welcome to a video about skill in Clash Royale. If you're all about in-depth Clash Royale content, then hey, consider dropping a sub so I can continue to provide content to the big old YouTube world. TY, much appreciated. Our first card today is the good old Snowball. When you look at this card generally, it doesn't seem as though it would require a ton of skill. You just place it on the board and it kills skeletons or something, right? Well, probably not. The knockback effect of this spell makes it super skill capped. Snowball has just a 3% usage rate but a very solid 55% win rate. This shows that only a small selection of players are using it, but the ones that are using it very well. The typical statistics of a high skill cap card. Snowball itself doesn't deal a ton of damage and has to travel across the arena to do said damage, and so isn't actually one of the best spells. However, the knockback effect gives it a ton of interactions that help it wildly. Against units like Hunter and Inferno Dragon, it can disrupt this immense DPS by pushing units away. Against offensive units like Miners and Goblin Barrels, it actually has the potential to activate the King Tower. Interactions such as allowing a Musketeer only one shot onto your tower are reasons why Snowball can be incredibly powerful, but requires a player with a knowledge of these interactions in order to succeed. Another cheap icy card that requires interactional knowledge is Ice Spirit. Often this card will grant you more than one elixir worth of value. It has the potential to stop a ton of units alone, especially swarm units. The value doesn't just come from placing this card down randomly, as this would cause the spirit's low HP to be disintegrated and not even allow his jump to be pulled off. Freezing a ton of units will see you gain more value than the one elixir, seeing as the controlling freeze effect allows your crown tower and defending units to kill off attackers. Simply kiting a unit into walking a few extra tiles to be frozen does this too. The tower gets more time to shoot, coupled with the spirit's damage, allows you to get some pretty neat trades from this card. Being paired with the likes of Zap can see insane value from this troop, providing just enough damage to kill minions and goblins alike. When thrown at a tower, his 91 chip damage will really add up, especially for using a chip cycle deck. Although he can grant you immense value, he's only in 4th place for me because of his elixir cost. Being one elixir allows you to cycle your deck for just this cost, which is inherently valuable itself and doesn't require the most skill. Princess is a card that I really wouldn't ignore. She's one of my favourite troops in the game, and that comes down to her having the longest range of any troop within the game. She can be used directly on defense and on offense, which is rare for any card really. She defends very well from the other lane. This is important to her because her low HP means that she would die very quickly if she was in the thick of a fight. She doesn't provide quick DPS and more so gains value the longer she's on the board, so it's very important that you're able to keep her alive, and that's where the main skill aspect comes in. If your opponent attacks her with troops, it's high skill to predict these and keep your princess alive. If your opponent attacks her with spells, it's high skill to recognize their lack of spells in hand and punish this with a high risk high reward spell bait card. Overall, the princess can be used to defend, spell bait, and chip down towers. Recognizing which way you should use her in a battle is high skill and has the ability to win you games alone. This is probably the weirdest one to be on the list, but I have a very good reason for it being here. This card is all about defensive potential. Her usage rates are under that of Mega Knight and Royal Giant at the moment, but that may just be because of her skill cap. Now, as a win condition, she's very easy to use. You place her down, she charges towards the tower, and boom, you get damage. However, her main value comes when used on defense. Her snare is her real unique feature, and has the ability to fully stop really potent win conditions like balloons. Sure, that's just a 5-for-5 trade, right? Well, nope, not at all. You now have that counter-attacking Ram Rider rushing towards the tower for exactly 0 elixir. What's the greatest thing about this? She's completely spell resistant. Against a lone balloon, there's no spell your opponent can use viably for value onto your tower. She's a complete stopper of win conditions. However, as a win condition herself, she's very lackluster. If you were to use her like a Hog Rider, you would find yourself completely out of luck. She has worse stats and costs more elixir, meaning that you need to obtain that defensive value if you wish to succeed with her. Learning the timing and placement necessary for this value can be tricky, and that's why she makes number 2 on our top 5 skill cap cards. Number 1 is most likely a fan's favourite, the Magic Archer. He's rather finicky and can oftentimes leave you feeling really unfulfilled, but that's exactly where the value lies. His DPS is similar to that of a witch without her skeletons, meaning that he's not a DPS unit. His health is low enough to die to a fireball, meaning that he's not exactly going to live long on defense, and his elixir cost is 4, so he doesn't exactly cycle or provide you with efficient damage. So what is he useful for? Well, chip damage. The skill with Magic Archer comes with utilizing his immense range. Whilst his attack range is only 7 tiles, his effect effective range is actually longer than a princess. This enables you to lock onto the tower directly with his DPS from your side of the arena, and that there is the key to Magic Archer, the placement. If he's on your side behind a few troops at the river sniping away at a tower, there's not too many options that your opponent has. There's not really any troops that can affect this interaction, and so they either have to suck up the damage or expend a spell on him. After he's been spelled, this opens up opportunities for other fireball vulnerable cards to shine, and that's another part of the Magic Archer's skill cap. His only real usage on defense is if you can stack him in both lanes, providing a cross arrow effect. However, this is ultra rare to see due to his elixir cost alone. His most common and best usage case is that chipping at towers and baiting of spells, which is all about how you place this card. So yeah, those are my top 5 skill cap cards in this game. It's all about how much value these cards can potentially obtain when using a skillful manner, not necessarily requiring skill to be used though. I think there are a ton of cards in this game that have really unique features when used really successfully, but these are personally my top 5. Again, you're all more than welcome to leave below which your top 5 would be, along with voting in the top right of your screen on which of my top 5 is actually the most skillful. As for comment of the day, we're shouting out Dumb Orange, who has been bugging me for ages to do a 10-minute ASMR video. Whilst I have literally no idea about ASMR, it could be a good meme for Valentine's First Day if I get around to it. Anyway boys, that is really all for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and peace.